Okay, so we have discussed about till now how to represent positive integers in binary, right? In fact, this uh, this concept here works for any base you can think about. As for example, though computer does not work in all other bases, but uh, just as a study of number systems, let me consider that the number, say base 7. It's lagging in. Okay, say base 7. Now in base 7, what are the digits available? 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 6. Just like in base 10, we have numbers from 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 9. Or base 2, we had 0 and 1. In general, if you work in any base, obviously the base can be only some positive integers, but obviously in advanced number system study negative bases also exist, but we are not going to that study because study of number systems itself is a huge topic. So if I consider about base n, 0, 1, 2, all the way up to n minus 1, these are the available bases. Sorry, these are the available digits in base n. Now you may ask that what if the base is something more than 10? As for example, what if the base is 16? In fact, 16 base is pretty famous base, pretty much used base in computer system as well. We will look into that base as well. So in that scenario, obviously the available digits, if we think about it, the available digits, in fact base 16 has a special name that is called hexadecimal base. Okay, and sorry for the handwriting again I'm getting a lag between when I'm writing here and when it is coming out here. So in the base 16 we have digits 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 9, 10, and obviously 15. Now we do not have symbols from for 10 to 15, right? If I write something as say 9, 1, 0, say 3, 1 in base 16, obviously it can be confusing because this this can be considered as 91031, a hexadecimal number with 5 digits, or 91031, a hexadecimal number with 4 digits, right? Both are possible because in base 16 10 itself becomes a digit all the way up to 15. So for that, whenever it is not only in base 16, for any base greater than 10, okay, for any base greater than 10, these 2-digit numbers are represented, not rather than numbers, these for those which do not have special symbols, they are represented by corresponding alphabetic symbols. So this 10 becomes A. You can consider small a as well. There is no problem in that. 11 becomes B. So 10 becomes A. 11 becomes B. 12 becomes C, 13 is D, change the color, it is lagging a less, 14 is E, and 15 turns out to be F. Okay, so so 91031 is now uniquely identifiable. It is a number with 5 separate digits. Rather, 9A31 is a different number altogether. As an example, 9A31 in hexadecimal. What will be this in decimal? Just like we have converted from binary to decimal, we can convert from any base to decimal, following the same logic. So 1 remains as it is because it is eventually 1 into 16 to the power 0 plus, because now the base is 16, remember, 3 into 16 to the power 1, so 16 only, plus a means 10, so 10 into 16 square plus 9 into 16 cube. And we can we can simply calculate this and you will get the corresponding decimal value. I am using my calculator to calculate. Huh?
Repeat again.
Okay. See. Suppose you have been given this number 9831 in base 16 in hexadecimal base. Okay. Now, just like in the decimal, just like you have done in the binary. Consider these are the corresponding positions. So 9, what is the base now? 9 into 16 cube. A means, what is the value of A in hexadecimal? It is 10, right? Yes. So 10 into 16, 3 into 16 to the power 1, so 16 itself, and 1 into 16 to the power 0, that means 1 itself. Is it clear? So the same thing that we have discussed here. For the binary, it is now in base 16. Here in base 2, this was 1 into 2 to the power 4. The base was 2 here. 1 into 2 cube, 0 into 2 square, 1 into 2 and 0. So the corresponding digit, in the case of binary it is called bit, the corresponding digit or bit into base to the power position, right? And here we have seen that if you go from right to left, you can simply take the corresponding digit or bit, so 1 plus, and as you go from right towards the left, simply increment the power of 2. So 1 into 2 to the power 0, 1 into 2 to the power 1 plus 1 into 2 square, and here 1 into 2 to the power 4, right? And 0 into 2 cube, obviously. Similarly, the same thing for hexadecimal. The only difference here is that the base in the binary was 2, the base in the decimal was 10, the base in the hexadecimal is 16. The rest is same. So from right to left, or you can look into the position wise as well. 1 into 16 to the power 0 plus 3 into 16 to the power 1 plus a means 10, so 10 into 16 square plus 9 into 16 cube. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now we can calculate this. And this turns out to be 39,473 in decimal. The fact is, if you convert this number back to hexadecimal, you will get this same. Let me show you. And this conversion, again, is exactly the way you have converted from decimal to binary. That means by repetitively dividing by 2. Here 2 was the base, you divided by 2. Here the base is 16, so we are going to divide by 16. Later on you'll see that where hexadecimal turns out to be important. So if I divide this by 16, obviously in this scenario it is not suggested that you keep the powers of 16 in mind. So dividing by 16 is the most suggested way. And here the result is 2467 with the remainder as so minus
One,
Base,
sir.
16.
sir,
Huh,
base 10,
One, sir.
base 10.
yes, 1. No, this is base 16. We are
Okay,
dividing by see, when you change from decimal back to binary, you divided by the base, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here you are dividing by 16. Let me write a rule of thumb at first here. Changing I'm really getting too much lag here today. I have no idea why. Changing from base any say particular base b to base 10. Okay, if you're converting a number from base b to base 10, suppose the number is say say a0, say a n minus 1, a n minus 2, okay, all the way up to a1, a0, and this complete number is in base b. If you want to change it to base 10, the one we have seen for decimal or hexadecimal or any base, simply a0 plus a1 into b plus a2, that means the number here, a2 into b square plus all the way up to a n minus 1 into b to the power n minus 1. Okay, so this is the same thing we have done for base 2 and base 16. When we converted from base 16 to base 10 as well, we went from right towards the left, okay, right towards the left with the increasing power of the corresponding base. And when we will change changing from base 10 to base b, if you want to change some number from base 10 to base b, what will you do? You simply suppose the corresponding number is say n, which is in base 10, you simply divide it by continuously by b. Suppose the remainder here is say n minus 1. In fact, these two n will confusing, so maybe say a k minus 1, and the result is something else. That means you continually divide by b and so on. That means continuously, I think you get the idea. Continuously, the way it is lagging today, I really doubt I will be able to uh, tell for a long time today. Continuously divide by B. Okay. So when we'll change from base 10 to base B, the idea is to continuously divide by B. So here we want to change the number from decimal to hexadecimal. So here we have obtained the result 2467, remainder is 1, and continue this one. 2467 divided by 16, the result is 154, and the remainder you can calculate it, but the remainder should come as 10. Oh sorry, 1 3, the remainder will be 3, right? Then divide by 16 again, 154 by 16, 9 here, and the result, that means 154 minus 16 into 9, that is 10. And 10 means A. And so when you're writing, write this in the opposite direction, and you'll get this 9A31 in hexadecimal back. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you tell me 3, 5, 7, 1, 2 in base 7? Is it a valid number?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Why? Why not?
Because there
So
is
because
seven.
Because of this digit 7. In base 7, digit 7 is not available.
no, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think so the concept of bases different, the number base, the number system, is it clear? Any confusion till now?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we'll start with the concept of binary arithmetic. And one thing before moving on to binary arithmetic, I just want to mention one thing, that loading is way too much slow. That
Sir,
bolo.
sir, can the decimals also come? That means numbers like 12.75.
Yes, obviously they will also come. I'll show you how. Okay. As I've said, anything can be represented. Anything. Okay. Some of you is unmuted. Okay. Now, if you want to convert, just 1 second. I'm really facing a bit problem today, especially at this hour. Converting base A to base B, and none of them are equal to 10. And obviously A and B are not equal as well, considering that A and B are not equal. What will you do? The idea is, first convert the number from base A to base 10, and then convert the number from base 10 to base B. So first from base A to base 10, and then from base 10 to base B. Now you may ask, why cannot we convert directly from base A to base B like we did from base A to base 10, because eventually B is also some other number like 10. The answer is that to do that you have to know the corresponding division or multiplication in the corresponding base A or base B respectively. The fact is we do not know that. We do not know. See, our natural arithmetic calculations always happen in base 10. We can immediately divide in base 10, or we can easily multiply in base 10. But dividing or multiplying in base other than 10 is not our natural thought, and we cannot do that naturally, and that's why it is suggested that you first go from base A to base 10 and then from base 10 to base B. Okay, as an example here in this case, suppose if I take the number say an minus 1, an minus 2, all the way up to a2, a1, a0, and this is written in base A. Okay, and if you want to convert it to base B, if B is 10, then it's okay. We would be able to write a0 plus a1, a plus a2 a square. If some of you face difficulty to understand the handwriting, let me know. I'll recapitulate what I've written here, because okay, and an minus 1, a to the power n minus 1. So this is for converting from base A to base 10, because this addition here is happening in base 10, this multiplication here is happening in base 10. If you somehow would know how to do this addition and multiplication in base B as well, you would be able to convert it directly from base A to base B. But we do not know this. We do not know how to do this. How to do this in base B not is equal to 10. And so that's why it is suggested that you first go from base A to base 10 and then from base 10 to base B. Okay, so now about the binary arithmetic. Rather than arithmetic, it's better that I write it as binary addition.
Sir,
bolo.
so you in the last class you told we will be learning changing negative numbers.
Maybe it's due to my network problem here, but your voice is not coming clearly. Can someone just recapitulate what Bharat just told, or Bharat, can you kindly write on this chat section, because your voice is really breaking on this side. Hello. Okay. Yeah. About the negative numbers. To understand about the negative numbers, how to convert the negative numbers, you have to first understand the binary addition. After that, I'll be able to discuss about the negative numbers. Okay. So let me first discuss about the binary addition, and then I'll show you how to convert a negative number. Because for negative number conversion, addition is necessary. Okay. To understand the binary addition, let's first look into how do we perform addition in decimal number. Okay, it seems I've got the connection back. So 593 says 678, and what we do is that we simply add the two numbers, as here the number 11. So the rule of thumb is, if sum becomes greater than 10, what we do is that we put sum as the sum minus 10 and take 1 as carry. Right? As an example, here we have 8 and 3, 11. 11 is greater than 10, so 11. So we put 1 here, and we take 1 as the carry. Now 9 plus 1 plus 7, that is 17. Again 17 is greater than 10, so 17 minus 10, 7 is put here, and we take 1 as the carry, and so on. Otherwise, we place the sum directly. That is how we perform addition. Now I am writing this specifically because you'll be able to understand where it gets different in other bases. The difference is here. In general, if after doing the sum it is greater than, let me remove this 10 as well. If it is greater than our base, then we put sum minus b and take 1 as carry. Let me show this in an example. Suppose I am going to add 1 0 1 1 and say 0 1 1 1, and I am going to add them. First of all, let's look at what is their decimal equivalence. 1 0 1 1, this is 1 plus 2 plus 8. Okay, 4, the position of 4 is 0. 1 plus 2 plus 8, so this is 11 in decimal, and this is 1 plus 2 plus 4, 7 in decimal. Okay, now let's add them. Add these two numbers in binary.
Sir,
Bolo.
sir, what is the need of 0 there?
Why I placed a 0 here? Just to make them of equal digits. As an example, if you add say 593 in decimal number system and 68, what do you do? 1, we put a 1 here, 6, 1 here. Don't you consider a 0 here? And you do the sum as 60, as 6 here. We always consider a 0 for the smaller numbers, right? The same thing has been done here. Eventually you are doing the addition for 1011 and 111. Okay, just to make them of equal number of digits, I have placed a 0 here. Okay, now 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now focus on this thing. If this would be in decimal, we would blindly place 2 here, but 2, in fact this should be greater than or is equal to base. But the digit 2 is not available in binary system. Okay, because this is greater than is equal to 2 and this 2 is the base. So our sum that we will put is 2 minus 2, that is 0, and 1 will come as the carry. Is it clear what I did here? I added. Okay, we will add the 2 digits. Okay, we will add the 2 digits in here, 2 bits. If the sum is greater than the base, which is 2 in this case, okay, as it is greater than or equal to 2, we will put the sum as sum minus base. That means 2 minus 2, because base is 2 here, sum is also 2 here. So sum will become 0 and you will have a carry of 1. Is it clear? Just think it a bit, you will be able to understand. I added this two number. It is clear, right? Now, similarly, 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is 3. This is also greater than 2. That means our base. So, our sum will be 3 minus 2. That means 1. And we will have a carry of 1. So, 3 minus 2, 1. And as the sum is greater than 2, we will have a carry of 1. And again 1 plus 1, 2. The same thing will happen here. 0 will become the sum and 1 will become the carry. And again 1 plus 1, 0 will come here and 1 will become the carry. And that 1 will be placed here. Is this addition clear to all of you? In short, if, see, suppose the 2 digits are, I am writing the first one as carry in. That means the carry that is coming here, as for example, the carry is 0. Carry. Okay. Now, if 2 numbers are added, if 2 ones are being added, in this scenario, the sum will be 0, because 1 plus 1, 2, which is greater than or equal to 2, and sum will be 2 minus the base, which is 2, which is also 2, base is also 2, and carry will be 1. If we have 3 ones being added here, in which case we are getting the sum of 3, which is also greater than the base, so the sum will be 1, and carry will obviously be 1. And we have only a single 1 or a single 0, then obviously the sum will be the corresponding 0 or 1 and carry will be 0. Is it clear? Let me recapitulate what happened here. 1 plus 1, so sum is 0, carry is 1. Now 1 plus 1 plus 1, so sum is 1, carry is 1. 1 plus 0 plus 1, that means 2 ones are here, so sum is 0, carry is 1. 1 plus 1 again, so sum is 0, again carry is 1, and here we have 2 zeros, right? Both of them are 0 in front of them, so only single 1, so sum will be 1 and there will be no carry further. Is the concept clear to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I will show you several further additions, several more additions to make it clear, but let me show you one thing. 1 0 0 1 0, so 0 1, that means 2 square, sorry, 2 to the power 1 plus 0 1 2 3 4, 2 to the power 4, and it comes out as 18. So the result of addition is correct. Okay. Let us see some a few more examples.
Sir,
हाँ बोलो.
So can we add more than 2 layers?
Eventually, when you add more than 2 numbers, eventually we are adding them pairwise. That means we are maybe adding first two numbers, then with that first number we add the third number and so on. Okay, but here just like bolo.
Actually, my question is, when it becomes 3, the sum is 2 and carry is 1. What if it becomes 4?
Okay, what will happen when the sum will become 4, right? In that scenario, obviously when adding two numbers the sum never becomes 4. Tell me 4 in decimal is eventually 100 in binary. Okay, now let me show this step by step. Suppose 1011, 0111 and 0001. Let me put another one here as well to make it 4. There eventually a 4 will appear here. So we have 3 ones here. 3 ones means sum 1, carry is 1. Now we have 4 ones here, right? And in that scenario we'll put a 0 here.
0, 0.
Though it seems that we'll put a 10 here, the fact is it is not quite defined in binary addition. And 1, let me just check, 1 here, 1 and 1 0 here, and I really doubt has it given me correct answer, because 0 here, 1 0 here. So 1 plus 0 1 2, 2 square plus 2 to the power 4. (21). And am I getting the correct answer from here? 11. Here we have 7 and 1 plus 1, that means 3. And yes, we are getting 21. So yes, so if you get something like 4 in decimal is eventually 100 in binary. So 0 will be here and 10 will go as the carry directly. Is it clear whatever I said?
Got it, sir, got it.
Okay, but
Yes, sir.
in general, when you will perform the binary addition, eventually computer also does it in the same manner. Always do it pairwise. That means first add these two numbers, whatever is result you are getting, add the next number with that, and so on, continue in this manner. Okay. Okay, so that was about binary addition. Let me show you with another example. Suppose we have 1 0 0 1 0 and 0 1 1 1 1. Yeah, I'm just taking it randomly. So 1 and 0, 1 here, no carry, because this is only 1 and 0. Let me put a 0 here, 0 1 0 1 1. Otherwise there will be a carry on the head of every one of them. Let's do something different, because we already have taken the carry over all of them. So 1 and 1 0 again, and 1 comes here. Now 1 0 0 1 here, no carry here. There will be no carry because 1 0 0 1, there will be no carry. So 0 0 1, and again no carry here. So 1 1 1 0 1. Let's check whether it is correct or not. It is 0 1, so 2 plus 0 1 2 3 4, so 2 to the power 4, and it becomes 18. And here we have 1 plus 2 0 1 2 3 plus 2 cube, so 11. And what it gives me, 1 for this one, 0 1 2, so 2 square plus 2 cube plus 2 to the power 4. 2, 3, 4. So 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16, 29. The result is giving me the correct output. Okay, so so is it clear how the binary addition is done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir,
Huh.
sir, why did you take that one there, sir? You have made it 0.
Which one? Can you kindly repeat?
Sir, means you have in question only you have taken in a second place that one. In a sum of 11 binary, sir. In 11 decimal, you have taken 0, no, sir. Initially, you have took 1, but you rewrited it as 0.
This 0. Why I have taken this 0?
That not, sir. To the second one, sir. That one.
Okay, this one. Why is there a 0?
Yes, sir. Why you have changed it, sir? Yes, sir. Initially, 1 you took, no, sir.
Okay. Obviously, you could have taken 1. Why did I change this? There is no special reason for that. If you take it as 1, what would happen? 1 and 1, 0. 1 here, 1 and 1, 0. 1 here, 1 and 1, 0. Again 1 here, 1 and 1, 0. Carry over all of them. You have already seen this case here with carry over all of them. I
Okay,
just
sir.
wanted
Okay,
to
sir.
show
Okay.
something different, that there when no carry occurs, what happens. That's why. Okay. Any
Sir?
other query? Huh.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the left side example, we got a carry of 1 0, no, sir.
This one, yes. Here
Sir,
we have got a
how
carry of 1.
Sir, that means the digits are adding column wise, or that means to the two columns or entirely to the one column? How
No,
is that 1 0 added?
to the two columns. Let me, though that many numbers are not added, suppose you are adding huge number of some decimal numbers, say 593, 276, and so on and on and on. And somehow the result of adding all of them, you are adding so huge number of numbers that adding all of them suddenly turned out to be, say, 105. What will you do? You will write 5 here and you will take the 1 0 here in this manner, right? This is
Yes, sir.
this is what is done. The same thing has been happened here. The 4 ones, when it got added, 1 1 1 1, when 4 ones got added, 4 1 means 4 in decimal means 1 0 0 in binary, 0 1 2 2 square. So 1 0 0 in binary. So 0 came here, and consider something like this. This 1 0 came over the two columns together, and this is what happened here together. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other query? Any other query? Then, हाँ, बोलो.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. ठीक है. Then we can start our discussion on negative integers. In fact, while representing within a computer system, negative numbers can be represented in two ways. There are two possible representations. One, that is 1's complement, first one is the 1's complement, and in 1's complement the idea is simply invert all the bits. Invert all the bits means 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. That means on becomes off and off becomes on. So let me take a number from previous page. Suppose let me take some bit larger number. Suppose, okay, I'm getting a delay again. Suppose 45 in decimal, the one we have used on the previous page, that was not loading, so let me write it out again. Just let me do it quickly. One zero one one zero one. Okay, so this was in binary, 45 decimal, this was in binary. So in ones complement, minus 45 in decimal becomes, okay, before stating this, I need to tell you another thing which I forgot to mention, because that in many cases becomes confusing. If we add two numbers, in fact this is not only true for adding, rather it is true for any arithmetic operations, and store that in, say, n-bit system, store that in some n-bit storage or n-bit system. Okay, two things may happen. One, either addition needs more than n bits, addition needs more than n bits. In this case, simply discard all the, or truncate or discard all the most significant bits. Most significant bits means the leftmost bits. Truncate the most significant bits to fit in n bits. This may seem confusing at first, but observe here. Suppose this addition here. Suppose you are working on a 4-bit system. Okay, suppose we are working on a 4-bit system, 1011 and 0111. Before that, let me write the second rule. If some number needs less than n bits, prepend 0 to make it n bits. As an example, let we have a 4-bit system or 4-bit storage. Though obviously we always work in multiples of 8, but this is just an example. It's a 4-bit system we have, and there we are performing the additions of 1011 and 0111. In fact, we want to do the addition of 1011 and 111. But this rule says here, as it is a 4-bit system, in fact we are going to store both, in fact we are going to take, suppose somehow the RAMs that each row consists of 4 bits. Okay, so when we'll try to store 111 in certain row of the RAM, eventually it is, as I said, it is being represented by certain voltage levels, and there is a voltage level assigned for the leftmost bit as well. So what will be the voltage level there? Obviously the voltage level should be 0, right? So if you have 111, it is a 4-bit system, prepend 0 to make it n bit, that means 4 bit in this case. Okay, and now this was obvious because prepending 0 does not change the value of the number. And the most confusing, that may seem confusing at first, is that if after addition the result becomes more than 4 bits, because again our storages are of 4 bits, we have assumed either if the result of the addition becomes more than 4 bits, truncate the leftmost bits to make it 4 bit. Let me show this. So here 0 we have, 1 is the carry, here we have 1, again 1 is the carry, 0, 1 is the carry, and 0, 1. Now 1 0 0 1 0, that is obviously the natural result, the correct result. But as we are trying to fit it in 4-bit system, obviously this will not fit in 4-bit. We have to remove certain information. Some information will get lost, and we have to remove the leftmost bits in the computer system. This is the most significant bit. So eventually it may seem that we added 11 and 7 and somehow we got the result as 2, because 0010 is 2. It may seem like this, but eventually what happened is that it correctly calculated 18, but it could not fit 18 into a 4-bit system. Can you tell me what is the maximum number that you can fit in a 4-bit system? The maximum number that you can fit in a 4-bit system is 1111, all bits as 1, right?
15.
Which is, yes, 15, correct. 1111, this is 1 plus 2 plus 2 square plus 2 cube. That means 2 to the power 4 minus 1, and that is 15. In a 4-bit system, this is the maximum number you can fit. In general, if we have an n-bit system, that means whatever result you are getting, you can fit only in n-bit system. This will be that. This is the maximum number that you can store.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So in the 4-bit system, maximum you can fit 15. So how will you fit 18 here? You cannot. Information will be lost. And in this scenario, it is chosen the leftmost bits to be lost, and this is what is left. So that's why in programming it is always important that you care about the storage. Okay, what amount of storage you are giving to which variable, what operation you are performing, you have to check out all these things. Computer will never do the wrong arithmetic operation. Okay, it is only us, the programmers, has to be careful about the storage allocation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, and another thing is that from now on in our discussion we will consider an 8-bit system. Let me write, this is an important thing. We will consider storage as of 8 bits, which is called 1 byte or its multiples. That means 16 bit, 32 bit, or 64 bit, and so on. This is important. This should be kept in mind as well. So here 45, we have to prepend 2 zeros here, because now this will be of 8 bits. So minus 45 will be 1 1 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0 in 1's complement. 0 becomes 1. That means simply invert the bit. 1 becomes 0. 1 becomes 0. 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. So in 1's complement, minus 45 is simply 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. Okay. Is it clear?
Repeat again, sir.
Sir,
हाँ बोलो.
in that way, one binary number has two types of 10-digit numbers or 10 decimal numbers.
Somehow suppose you have a 10-bit number, right? I'm really very sorry, but your voice is really breaking on this side. Can you write this?
Sir,
हाँ बोलो.
repeat again, sir.
Okay.
Negative.
Maybe. Sure. I'm repeating it, but till that time, Bharat, kindly write your question in the chat box. So, in the case of 1's complement, simply just invert all the bits. Invert all the bits means 0 becomes 1 and 1 becomes 0. As for example, 45 in decimal was, see, I am doing this from the first again. You'll understand what I am doing then. Follow it step by step. Firstly, this is 101, 101, right? That is 45. But as I have said, we are going to ask me immediately whenever you are getting lost in the logic. As we want our storage system to be always a multiple of 8 bits, so and these are 6 bits, so I'll prepend two
Yes.
zeros.
8
Is it clear
bits.
of this? Now
Yes.
minus 45, you'll simply invert the bits. So 0
become 1.
becomes 1,
1.
0 becomes 1,
So
1
1,
becomes 0,
1,
0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 0.
1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, 1, 0.
This is it. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Simply 0 has become 1 and 1 has become 0 everywhere. Okay, this is 1's complement.
Sir,
Follow.
sir, I have a question. This minus 45, what we've written after 1's complement. Sir, this is also the binary of 210. So how does the computer recognize whether we are talking about 210 or minus 45?
Okay, I will discuss this. This is a very good question, and I'll discuss this question in great detail. Let me tell you in brief. First of all, computer understands nothing like 45 or minus 45. Okay, computer understands only this on and off. So, when you'll give minus 45, when as a programmer or as a user will write minus 45, it is our system software that will change minus 45 to this. Computer internally, the processor, it will take this number blindly, and computer has no idea what this number is represented at the programmer's level or the user's level. Now, suppose somehow that as a result of certain operation that I will show you, because it is already 6 today, and in the next week, that suppose after some operation somehow you received some number like this. It is again it will be written in your program in which way you want to represent it. There are two kinds of representation for every number. Generally the negative numbers, which have the possibility of being a negative number. One is signed representation. Signed representation, where if first bit is 1, it is considered negative. Okay, and corresponding complement is done to get its original value. So in this number in signed representation will become minus 45, and another one is unsigned representation. In the unsigned representation there is no sign bit. All the bits are value bits. All bits are value bits. So if you take the same number, the same bit pattern, computer has returned you this bit pattern. Computer does not know what this bit pattern means. It is only us as the user or programmer knows how we will treat this bit pattern. If we treat this bit pattern as an unsigned number, this will become 210. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay, if this is not clear till now, don't worry. We'll discuss this signed and unsigned representation in great details, and I'll show you that how this representation matters so much while programming. Okay. I'll keep my discussion up to this today. Any of you have any query? And let me tell you before finishing today's discussion that one's complement is not used in today's computer. It is not used. But why have we studied that? Okay, let me just take 5 more minutes. Okay, that is 2's complement. Why 1's complement is not used and why 2's complement is used, I'll discuss this in the next class. But for the sake of completeness, I'll just show how 2's complement, how numbers are represented in 2's complement. First, it is two-step process. Take 1's complement, and then add 1 to it. That is 2's complement. So as an example, 45 in decimal, that was 00101101, right? Minus 45 now will be first 1's complements. That means simply just invert all the bits. So 11010010 and add 1 to it. That means 11010011. That is minus 45 in 2's complement. Now you may ask what problem is solved by adding 1 to it. Okay, I'll discuss this in the next class. The problem is in the representation of 0, that I'll show you in the next class. Okay, but that's how 2's complement is represented. I'll discuss this. Bolo.
So, in that inversion of 45, why we had added 2 zeros in front? That is why we had converted into an 8-bit system.
Okay. In today's computer system, you can consider it is just a customary. There is no particular reason for that. That everything is represented in terms of bytes, and 1 byte is 8-bit. Any information you'll see, it will be represented by at least 1 byte. Okay, and 1 byte is 8 bits. So maybe some information can be 2 bytes, 3 bytes, 4 bytes, and so on. But you'll never see information like 4 bytes and 3 bits. No, rather it will be some multiples of bytes, and that's why we'll always consider in terms of bytes. That means 8 bits at least. Okay. Any other query? I'll discuss this will be our discussion in the next class, 2's complement. And why 1's complement is avoided and 2's complement is used in today's, in fact, every electronic device. Any other query other than this? Because we'll discuss this 2's complement in the next class. Any other
Okay,
query?
No.
Okay. So,
Sir,
bolo.
sir, can you share the slide, please?
Okay, I'll share these slides. I'll share all these
Okay,
slides, and at the same time, you may also download the recordings and study from there as well. Okay.
सर
हाँ.
मोबाइल फोन में रिकॉर्डिंग डाउनलोड नहीं
फोन में रिकॉर्डिंग डाउनलोड नहीं होते हैं. ओके. यस, दिस इज
नहीं
वन.
सर.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, excuse me.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, in phone it's being downloading, sir. If we update earlier, it is the new update, sir. It's
Or another thing you can do is that this is what I also suggested in the previous semester, that some of you who are using computer can download them, share it somewhere, or some Google Drive, or somewhere, maybe for say a few days, and within that time those who do not have or who are studying via mobile can download that from Google Drive or somewhere else. I will also share these
Yes, sir.
slides. हाँ बोलो.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Using Chrome browser in the mobile, even we can download it very easily.
Okay, then that's another procedure as well. You can though I have not tried any of this, but those who you know who how to download this via Chrome browser or somewhere else, simply you can give guidance to others so that others can download and so on. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ बोलो.
Sir, in our current sir, in our current system, we use 64-bit architecture. So, is it similar to that? Earlier, we used to have 8-bit, and now we are having 64 bits.
Yes, yes. The very
So-
old systems. बोलो.
So, sir, for writing in 64-bit structure, we will have to add that many zeros in front of that binary number.
Yes, and that's why we are not doing our calculations for study purposes. We are not doing our calculations in 64 bits. And later on, I'll show you that how you to represent that 64-bit number, you do not need to write all those 64 sequences of zeros and ones. How to do that? How that representation? How that can be represented? Such huge numbers. I'll show you later. The trick is hexadecimal number. Okay. There is a direct conversion between binary and hexadecimal. I'll show you that in the next class or in the next week. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That means from binary to hexadecimal, or from hexadecimal to binary, you do not need to go via decimal. There is a direct conversion. I'll show you that in the next week. Any other query?
No sir.
हाँ बोलो.
No sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So I am ending my discussion here. Then we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.